Hey everyone, it's March 25th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share it with serial killer John Ewell, who murdered 4 victims in Southern California in 2010. And that is him right up there. Ewell was born in Los Angeles in 1957 and had a rap sheet dating back as far as his teen years, but his first major conviction came in 1985 when he forced a woman to withdraw money from an ATM at gunpoint and robbed a man who was sitting in his truck. Another robbery conviction came in 1989, and in 1995 he was charged with forging checks. At the time, a 3 strikes law was in effect in California, which made him eligible for a life sentence, but he was able to get a plea deal that cut that down to 7 years in prison. His wife became treasurer of an organization dedicated to reforming the 3 strikes law while he was incarcerated. Ewell was released in 2002 and appeared to be going on the straight and narrow, finding work as a hairdresser and handyman and settling in the South Bay area of Southern California. He became an advocate for reform of the law, even appearing on the Montel Williams show in 2006 to discuss the issue. Ewell was well liked by neighbors and reportedly attempted to mentor at-risk youth, trying to get them to stay out of the trouble he had been in. But in 2010, he returned to his criminal behavior, committing a burglary and then getting caught shoplifting multiple times while out on bail. These were just the start of his crimes in 2010, because in September of that year, Ewell killed for the first time. He committed a home invasion robbery of an 80-year-old, tying him up and beating the man, which caused him to have a fatal heart attack, being found by a relative who stopped by later that day. 3 weeks later, Ewell broke into the home of a woman in his own neighborhood, tied her up, strangled her to death, and stole her valuables. The next week, he broke into the home of an elderly couple who had just returned from a vacation, tied them up, and strangled each of them before stealing jewelry they had in their home and their ATM cards. When they failed to check in with relatives after returning from their trip, the police were called to do a welfare check and discovered the horrific scene. While investigating that crime, surveillance video of Ewell was obtained at an ATM using one of his victims' cards at a Shell gas station in Gardena, California. Media attention on the string of home invasion murders had ramped up, and he was quickly arrested. A search of Ewell's car revealed that he had a newspaper clipping from a story about Lonnie Franklin Jr., a serial killer who had recently been caught and was known as the Grim Sleeper. You can scroll down to August 30th for more about him. The criminal process took almost 9 years before Ewell accepted a plea agreement to avoid the death penalty, being sentenced to 4 consecutive terms of life in prison. He currently resides at Valley State Prison in Chowchilla, California, and will likely be there for the rest of his days. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to John Ewell, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.